Hello there. I'm proud to present another episode of Lovecraft AI. I hope you'll enjoy the Progeny of Aeons.
The Progeny of Aeons. The manuscript I now lay before you recounts a series of events so profane, so aberrant, that I doubt even the most fevered imagination could conjure its like. I urge the reader to tread carefully, for within these pages lies a tale of genetic engineering that skirts the boundaries of sanity itself. I came to the laboratory of Dr. Elias Wythe, not as an accomplice, but as a chronicler tasked with documenting his groundbreaking work in the field of genetic manipulation. Wythe was a man of profound intellect and even deeper obsession, having spent decades unraveling the mysteries of heredity. Yet beneath his calm demeanor lurked a singular fixation, an ambition to unlock what he termed the primal genome, the hypothetical blueprint of all living things, whispered about only in hushed tones among geneticists. The facility lay hidden in the desolate Maine wilderness, shielded from prying eyes by dense forests and craggy hills. Its design was sterile, almost monolithic, with steel corridors and antiseptic lighting that cast harsh, unforgiving shadows. As I entered the main research hall, I was struck by the scale of the apparatus surrounding me. Tanks of luminescent fluid housed writhing, indistinct shapes, their embryonic forms distorted by the refracting glass. Genetic sequencers hummed ominously, their outputs producing an indecipherable stream of data. Wythe greeted me with an unsettling vigor. His gaunt face, lit from below by the eerie glow of a monitor, bore the marks of sleepless nights and unyielding determination. "You're just in time," he said, his voice a blend of triumph and dread. "The culmination of my work is at hand." Over the following days, I bore witness to Wythe's experiments, acts that defied the boundaries of ethics, morality, and nature itself. His objective was not merely to create life, but to resurrect it, to conjure forth an organism from the genetic residue of ancient eons. He had obtained, through means he refused to disclose, strands of DNA extracted from a fossil of unknown origin. The specimen, he claimed, predated all known terrestrial life and carried the imprint of something far older, far greater than humanity. His procedure involved the synthesis of this ancient DNA with human genomes, a heretical blend of the primal and the modern. Each failure, a creature too malformed or unstable to endure, was disposed of with a cold efficiency. Yet Wythe pressed on, undeterred by the grotesque results or the escalating instability in his lab. Then came the breakthrough. I remember the night vividly, for the air seemed charged with an electric unease. The final specimen, referred to only as Subject Zero, was housed in a reinforced containment chamber, its form obscured by a cocoon of bioengineered tissue. When the time came to activate it, White's hands trembled, not with fear, but with anticipation. As the cocoon dissolved, the creature emerged, a thing that defied comprehension. Its form was both familiar and alien, a grotesque amalgamation of human and something far older, far darker. Its flesh shimmered with an iridescent hue, as though it bore the essence of distant stars. Eyes, if they could be called such, were pits of fathomless black, and its limbs ended in appendages that seemed to shift and writhe with a will of their own. Wythe regarded it with rapture. "Behold," he whispered, "the progenitor of life, the origin of all that is." But the creature did not respond to its creator as one might expect. Instead, it turned its gaze upon us. And in that moment, I felt my sanity teetering on the precipice. For in those dark voids, I glimpsed a universe devoid of reason or mercy, a place of infinite, seething chaos. The creature moved then, its motions impossibly fluid, defying the constraints of physical reality. The air itself seemed to warp around it, as though the laws of nature were unraveling in its presence. Wythe attempted to communicate with it, his words a frantic blend of supplication and command. But the creature had no need for words. Its response was a low, resonant hum, a sound that resonated not in the ears but in the mind, a song of ancient despair. And then it turned upon him. I will spare you the details of what followed, for to recount them would be to risk my own tenuous grasp on sanity. Suffice it to say that Wythe's hubris was met with a fittingly horrific end. I fled the facility, pursued by the echoes of that terrible hum, my only thought to escape the madness that had consumed it. Even now, as I write these words, I can feel its presence, lurking at the edges of my perception. I do not know if Subject Zero still resides in that accursed laboratory, or if it has slipped into the wider world, a harbinger of unspeakable doom. What I do know is this: some knowledge is not meant for mankind, and some doors should remain forever closed.
Well, sorry for coughing out over the story there. I hope you enjoyed that. I really like that. Sometimes I like to think if there's the most comparable Lovecraft story, I think that probably compares the most to Reanimator or something like that. Maybe not quite your average Lovecraft story, but something a little more, what would you call that? Like a B movie style. I don't know what to call Reanimator. I know it's kind of out of the box as far as Lovecraft goes. And that's kind of what this one reminds me of. But if you wanted to tie it into more Lovecraftian things, even though it seems like this is sort of all original and its own thing, you could argue that maybe he's found a fossil of a Shoggoth or a proto Shoggoth being like the original life form. But I think it's not how fossils work. I don't think you can get DNA from fossils, but I don't want to poke holes in the story and things like that. It's every universe has its own rules. In the universe, you can get DNA from fossils, but I liked it without poking too much fun at the details. I thought it was good. It gave you that cool feel. Uh, I like it. I think it was a good description of the monster, while at the same time there are aspects of it that were indescribable. Looking into its eyes and just seeing how did he word that? Oh yeah, and there's another Dr. Elias Weiss. This is the third time ChatGPT has used the name Elias. It really loves the name Elias. But yeah, I like this story. Yeah, I'm trying to find a specific part of the story. It turned its gaze upon us, and in that moment I felt my sanity teetering on the precipice. For in those dark voids I glimpsed the universe devoid of reason or mercy, a place of infinite seething chaos. Yeah, I like that. That's some Lovecraft shit right there. But yeah, like I say, I hope you enjoyed the story, and sorry for coughing over the end there. That's very unprofessional. But one person can request me to re-record it, and I would probably do it. So feel free to leave a comment. I am starving for comments, and this has been Joseph Arthur Roszell. Thanking you for listening. I love you. Peace out, and good luck.